And now here we are with Suzanne Beranek, right? Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay, great.
You did. Impressive.
Local writer, poet, lifetime poet, right?
Correct.
A writer for Telluride Style,
Yep.
among other things, I'm sure. And you've even brought some pieces today with you.
I have.
Before we get into the writing part, or the reading part, let's talk a little bit about you.
Okay.
How did you come here? How did you come to Telluride? And why'd you stay?
Well, I think like most people who end up here, I found Telluride to be absolutely magical.
Yes.
The first time I stepped foot onto the land about a decade ago. Mm-hmm. It was a serendipitous experience. Last minute invitation to the Bluegrass Festival. And as soon as I came around the bend and saw the open space,
Oh, yeah.
I fell in love, madly in love with it.
Yeah.
Started calling it Tevin.
Tevin, Telluride Heaven.
Hashtag Tevin.
Hashtag Tevin. Don't use it. It's copyrighted. That's great. I've actually never heard that before. Of all the things, yeah.
Yeah, yes.
I heard the living the dream is a lot, but
I think of that often because it is like living a dream.
it's a thing. It's a phrase that people use here.
I can see why.
Yeah.
I can see why. So for about a decade, I would find myself in these serendipitous experiences and just find myself here. And about 2 years ago, I went and spent a season living in Chamonix, France.
Oh, okay.
Went over there for a writing workshop, got to work with some of the best in the business, and was supposed to stay for a month and stayed for 3.5 months and thought about living there forever.
In Chamonix.
In Chamonix.
Which is very similar, I assume, to this. Like
very similar.
Explain to folks real quick. Who
Very similar. Chamonix is in the French Alps.
Okay.
And it is awe-inspiring, just like you find here in Telluride. Just a darling little town filled with adventure athletes.
Cool.
What I found there, though, was that there wasn't a creative scene the way you find here.
Yes.
Right?
It's a very unique thing for
Right?
a very small town. Yeah, it's why we're here, as you know.
Right.
You know, we run a theater company, and I don't think that we could do that in a lot of other places.
Right, right. So I came back from Chamonix. I actually, some friends moved. I was living in Denver at the time, and some friends moved all of my items, all my stuff into storage, and I ended up traveling. I just traveled the country.
Amazing.
And came back to Telluride last June. Planned to go back to Laguna Beach, where I'd spent quite a bit of time last year, and then I met this wonderful man and fell madly in love.
This is often the case, isn't it? And you're, of course, you're a romantic, you're a poet. This all makes sense, right? It all matches up.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
I always say you can fall in love with a place like you do a person, and so I'm really fortunate because
you got both.
I got both.
There you go.
I got both in the same place.
That's right.
Yeah.
I know your man too.
Yeah.
He's good at the wine thing. So that's the.
He's good at a lot of things.
You really got. Well, listen, this is a family show, so we can only go so far, unless you're reading a poem, of course. So tell me a little bit about the history of you with writing, because you're saying you're mentioning as you're telling me these stories that you've been writing for quite a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I've been writing since I was a girl, my whole life. Since I was 8 years old. I wrote my first song when I was 8 years old. And just kept on writing and ended up with a career as a professional writer. So I've written websites, blogs, news releases, newsletters, brochures,
and this
books.
is, people should know too, this is what a professional writer does. I have several friends who are professional writers,
Right.
and it's like professional filmmakers. It's like you see a movie and you're like, wow, that was an amazing movie. And they're like, what are you doing next? I'm shooting like a Pepsi commercial, or I'm doing, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm doing cinematography for somebody else's gig. It's like you have to make a living by writing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So you end up working for different organizations. My goal is to work for people and organizations who give me the opportunity to tell stories that matter. So a lot of my career has been in the nonprofit world and plenty of corporate stuff as well. But in the best case scenarios, the corporate stuff has been, making the world a better place.
Great, that's amazing. I don't want to be too hasty here, but I really do want to hear your writing. I think we all want to hear your writing. So would you mind reading a couple pieces for us?
I would love to. I'd love to. Before I do that,
yes,
I want to share with you a rose quartz.
Oh.
It's a magical crystal. I've literally had miracles occur around rose quartz.
Okay.
And I wanted you to have one.
Oh, thank you.
It's associated with the heart chakra.
That's
love.
nice. Should I put it right here? Next
Yeah,
to the
that's
heart
exactly
chakra?
where you should put it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're
That's
welcome.
very nice.
My pleasure.
Do you just bring magical rocks to everybody that interviews you, or is this?
I share them with people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's fun for me. It's like my little gift for people like you
Thank
who
you
are
very much.
enriching my life.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
madam.
Yeah.
So
You're welcome.
So
My pleasure.
Without further ado.
Thank you. So this piece is called "I Asked for a Man." It seemed appropriate given the backstory I just told you. I asked for a man. I asked for a man who is honest, one who stands like cattails among us, a man who withstands seasons and storms, who grows and glows under thunder and sun. I asked for a tree, a solid wood aspen tree in the form of a man with roots and cowboy boots who connects to the thirst, the longing in each of us. I asked for a man who has traversed the earth, an adventurer here and in the universe. I asked that he would expand my expansiveness with his all sorts of affection and intelligence. I asked that this man would sit, stand, skip with me atop the soil beneath us, that we would reach for peaks collectively, breathing in thin air respectfully. I asked for a true gentleman, one who is loyal, kind, honest, for a man who understands energy in himself and all he touches. I asked for it to be simple, easy, obvious, to know down to the tips of my toes and out to the depths of my soul that sparks would ignite between us. Mother Earth, giver of gifts, protector, guide, and nurturer, responded, "Ask and you shall receive," she promised. "You asked for an angel, and I've sent you one."
That's very nice.
Thank you.
That's an incredibly nice thing. That's an incredibly nice gift to give someone.
It came through me. I mean, it really just naturally occurred.
Yeah.
As you know, as an artist,
Yeah.
you know, we're instruments, and it
it's
came
interesting
through me.
because it's like it came through you. Then also, this is a little peek behind the curtain of being an artist. But as I'm looking at your paper too, there are you've printed it out, you've pre-written it, and then also rewritten parts of it.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly sort of working on
Constantly whittling away at it is what I say, right? Like you
it.
have
Yes.
a piece of wood and a knife, like my brother who cut himself when I was 12, right? Yeah.
As they say, right, like I always use the phrase, anybody can bang 4 pieces of wood onto a flatter piece of wood and let's call it a table.
Yeah.
But it ain't the same thing.
Right.
It's like actually making a table.
Right.
You
A
know?
beautiful table.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for being with us today. Can you tell us a little bit, just before you go, where can we read your writing? Obviously, you have a piece you're working on for Telluride Style, but where else could we see some of this?
SuzanneBeranek.com.
SuzanneBeranek.com, and that's Beranek?
Correct, and it's Suzanne.
There you go, SuzanneBeranek.com.
Yeah.
And we'll look for your stuff in Telluride Style.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for
Thank
my
you
little
for
heart
the
chakra
time.
rock,
I appreciate
and
it.
Thanks a lot
Yeah.
for being here with us
Yeah,
today.
of course, my pleasure.
Yep.